Today we're making Pancit Palabok. Hi everyone! Today we're making another Filipino noodle dish called Pancit Palabok. Here are the ingredients for our dish. We're gonna need 1 pack of Pancit Palabok noodles, about 1 tablespoon of annatto powder for coloring, 1 piece of onion diced, about 8 pieces of garlic minced, 1 pound of ground pork. We're gonna need to season with about half a teaspoon salt and half a teaspoon pepper. We're gonna use about 3 cups of water, 1 shrimp bouillon, and we're gonna use about 3 tablespoons of cornstarch mixed in with 3 tablespoons of water for our cornstarch slurry to make our sauce thick, and about 1 cup of Napa cabbage. And for our topping, we're gonna use about 3 pieces of hard-boiled egg cut into wedges, some pork rinds or chicharron, no flavor. We're gonna be crushing them really fine because we're just gonna powder that on top of our noodles. Calamansi, which is a Philippine lemon. If you don't have these, you can use regular lemon. We're also gonna need some smoked fish. In this case, we're using tinapa flakes, some green onions for a garnish, and we're gonna boil some shrimp as topping on top of the noodles. So we're gonna start with our shrimps. These are pretty large shrimps, so we're gonna use probably about 7 of them. It's up to you on how many shrimps you wanna use for your dish. What we're going to be using them is just pretty much a topping at the end. So what we're going to do now is we're going to peel the shrimp and save the shells because that's the most important part. The sauce is pretty much shrimp flavored, so that's why we need the shell. So remove the head. Just like that. And of course you save the meat. Just like that. So we'll set our shrimp aside. For now, we'll put these in a boiling water and create a stock out of it. And the shrimps, let's set it aside. So we have our water in a little pot here. We're gonna add in our shrimp shells. Cover that up and just let it simmer for that, so that the water will absorb all that shrimp flavor. Now that we've been boiling our shrimp shells here for about 5 minutes, turn off the heat and we're gonna remove the shells from the stock. So what I have here is a bowl with a strainer. We're gonna place everything through the strainer. Try to squeeze as much of that flavoring or that juice as you can. Then that should be it. This one you can discard it. So pretty much this is liquid gold right here. So what we're gonna do now is place it back in our little pot or little saucepan. Bring it back to boil. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna quickly cook our shrimps in it. So number 1 rule on cooking the shrimps, never overcook it. Because once you overcook it, it's gonna get tough. Once it changes color, that's perfect. You know, you don't wanna overcook it. So let's wait for this to boil and we'll put them in. Once the stock's boiling, let's place our shrimps back in there. Try to get that flavor as much as you can. Just like that, and it won't take long, so don't run away, don't go anywhere. Once you change color, you're gonna flip it around and then cook the other side, and then remove them right away. I forgot to mention, if you want to devein your shrimp, make sure you do that before doing this step right here. So they're starting to change color. And just like that, this is done. Turn off your heat. Remove the shrimp and place it on a dish and set it aside. Do not discard the shrimp stock because we're going to be using it for our sauce. Now with another pot, we're boiling some water so we can start cooking our noodles. So this is the one I'm going to be using, which is for Pancit Palabok. It's a thinner type of noodles. If you're using the bigger, the fatter one, that's for the Pancit Malabon. Pretty much the same thing, the only difference is the noodles. When you buy this, they come in sheets pretty much. So I'm probably going to use just 2 of them. But it broke, so let's just add more. Now for this, we're just going to cook it until it's al dente, maybe about 10 minutes, more or less 10 minutes, because you want it al dente, you don't want it too soft. It's been about 10 minutes and our noodles are coming along really well. It's nice and al dente, so this is good. Turn off your heat and drain this in the sink. And that's it for our noodles. So we'll just set that aside, and next thing we're gonna do is make our sauce. Okay, now for our sauce. Let's set our heat to medium-high. Once our wok is hot, add in some oil. Then to start sauteing the garlic and the onion. So first the garlic, then our onion. Once the onions translucent, we're going to add in the ground pork. Make sure you break it apart. Continue breaking them apart so the meat's nice and brown. So that when you eat it, you don't have those big clumps of meat. Once our pork is nice and cooked, we're gonna add in about 3 cups of liquid. So we're gonna add in the stock we got from the shrimp. And about 2 more cups of water. Bring it to a boil. Also, while you're waiting for it to come to a boil, make sure you add in that shrimp bouillon or some type of shrimp flavoring you have. So let's just cover and wait for it to boil. Once it's boiling, let's stir everything around. Turn down the heat to a simmer. Now we're going to season it with about half a teaspoon of salt and about half a teaspoon pepper. Now we're going to add in 1 tablespoon of annatto powder. If you never used annatto powder before, it's just there's no flavor, it's just for basically coloring. So we're going to add in 1 teaspoon, 1 tablespoon. Now we're going to thicken it by adding our cornstarch slurry. So what I have here is about 3 tablespoons of cornstarch in 3 tablespoon water. Now if this is not thick enough, you can always add in more later. So the consistency you're looking for here is almost as thick as a spaghetti sauce, but not too thick. I think it's still a little runny for me, so I'm going to add in probably 1 more tablespoon of cornstarch with water. That's what you want, a nice, smooth, thick consistency. Next thing we're gonna add now is our napa cabbage. Now that's optional. Some places don't really use it. I like it because it adds a little vegetable to the dish. So make sure you taste it one more time. And just like that, this dish is done. Now let's put it all together. Okay, now what we're gonna do is we're gonna plate everything together. We're gonna start off by putting in the sauce. Next, we're gonna garnish with our shrimp. Also, the shrimp, I cut it in half lengthwise. Then we're gonna add in our eggs. You can cut the eggs into wedges or just slice it in slices. Then we're gonna garnish with some tinapa flakes or smoked fish. Now, these are extremely hard to come by, especially where I live. I'm glad that these ones are the bottled ones that we bought when we went to the Philippines. Next, we're gonna, the pork rinds, what I did is I just crushed them. You can use anything like with a utensil, or I pretty much just crush it with my hands. So we're gonna then last but not the least, our green onions. And just like that, our dish is done. Pancit Palabok from the Philippines. Here's our finished dish. I forgot to mention that I also added the calamansi in there. That's the little citrus there. If you don't know what calamansi is, it's one of those Philippine lemons. And if you don't have that, that's not a problem. You can just use regular lemon on this. So I hope you enjoyed today's recipe, and we'll see you in the next one. Thank you for watching.